What's up, Gemini? So we got first a card description for a card that was pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck by Adriana Ayales, and then we do the reading thereafter. Okay. This particular card is tobacco with the subtext of offering. Power, ofrenda, offering, divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. Tobacco is used amongst indigenous groups across the Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing and offering to the spirits as a sacred smoke at council meetings and as a ceremonial juice during vision quest. Widely used by shamans in the Amazon called tabaqueros, tobacco is considered a planta maestra, teacher/master plant. These plants are key to protective spirits and important allies and guides in the healing of humanity. In pre-Columbian North America, different tribes used tobacco ceremonially. The main difference between them and the Central and South American tribes is that they smoked tobacco through a pipe. Various indigenous peoples from the Americas use tobacco for healing a wide range of ailments such as earaches, snake bites, cuts, burns, respiratory diseases, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin disease, and parasites. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication with the spirit world. Tobacco is one of the ultimate ofrendas, or sacred offerings to the spirit world. It has been placed on altars and traded among different societies for hundreds of years. It has been used by many indigenous people as a symbolic token for sealing peace amongst tribes. Across time, tobacco is most commonly used as a smoke, but it can also be used as a strong purgative and anti-inflammatory, which further mirrors its Mars energetics. This is the guidance portion. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco is protective and powerful energy, lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who act with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviors or propel you toward addictive habits. So, this is okay, so I'm gonna start off with this. The idea of tobacco, what I originally thought about was just how a few things. One is the idea of tobacco being this powerful herb, right, and being having this powerful spiritual sense in terms of what it can do and its potential, and its use amongst shamans and the spiritual community and the indigenous tribes in general. But then I thought about today in terms of how we think about tobacco, in terms of what really takes place today, and that right there, that idea of what happens today, what's happening today. You do see a concept of course, tobacco being related to lung cancer, things of that nature. But I am like, really, when I see this, when I understand this, my understanding was I got brought back to a particular understanding, right, or a particular mindset that I'm really trying to advocate for, I would say, in society. And that was the idea of repairing our relationship with technology. And I am particularly thinking about how tobacco is everywhere in society. but it doesn't have a good a good or a positive reputation, I'll say, amongst like just civilians in general. So I'm really thinking about the idea of tobacco and this idea of being this concept of particularly like technology, like right, like cell phones, like all those things. Uh, we can. What I'm thinking about is in this repair that we're doing with society, in terms of the repair that society is undergoing. I really thought about this idea and this concept, and I really want to say this here for really just some astrological reasons in terms of the weather that's kind of like that I'm speaking in at this particular moment. In terms of why I want to say this here is because I think there may be potential here, in terms of whatever whatever's brewing in the actual, whoever's listening right now. I think there's potential for particularly making that transition from this concept of where we're at today to a real genuine paradise, because what we're looking at today is we have tremendous potential. Just to give you an idea, that there was less technology than what is in our phones that was used to send people to the moon. You understand? So we're not seeing that potential. We're seeing actually a lot of ailments rather than the actual potential itself. But I think I'm really hedging my bets, right? So this is like a kind of a step further than thinking that we'll repair that. And the way in which we repair that is going to be to where people, this idea of the power that people have is going to be reflective of this concept of really this we're going to show that scale in terms of what a person is able to do, and that's going to depend on various things, but the idea of the phone applications, how we use phones, the connections, the networks that we use, whatever that may be. There could be something. There could be definitely something. And particularly, in terms of a lot of the energetic environment that's really making me speak today, in terms of that I'm translating here today, is the concept of Uranus and Gemini, right? That is this major disruption, major repair, major potential in terms of how we transform society. So what is going on through your particular mind? How can you transform and start to move towards that? Because it's very, very important. And this kind of gets into my second point. I have the tobacco. The idea of particularly like this being an offering, right? You having an understanding that there is a world, the unseen, that you serve, or that that's kind of getting into the point that not everybody serves it, but that idea of this concept or this particular segment of a story that I'm really have brewing in the background, and my background noise. I won't say I'm working on it until I'm actually writing it, but it revolves around a figure, a puppet man. That's what the audience or this segment of society knows this figure as. Other figures know him as somebody who's like, I guess he could whatever he does in the actual physical realm is very impactful, and he's starting to kind of get noticed and get respect in this particular way. But the concept is that this figure he's not known as a spiritual person. He's not known as somebody who's very spiritual, but at some point this guy's at a cafe. This is a scene that I'm kind of brewing in the background. This guy's working at a cafe, or he's at a cafe. He's not working at the cafe. He's sitting down, and he's just gotten through a very serious spiritual trial, and he's starting to see the success, and he's really liking it, and he's just kind of feeling he's on cloud 9 right now. But he sits down at this cafe, and someone sits at the table with him, and he looks up and he sees kind of a shadowed figure sitting at the table. Okay, so he sits down. You sure like to tell these folks about corruption, about how everyone is compromised. Don't forget to tell them you're in debt. Tell them you're a hypocrite. You've been taking bribes under the table for the past 5 years. We keep our receipts. We got you on the book since 2019. That's right. You're straight-laced now, but we got you. And here he quotes the guy. Says, "I'll take anything you can spare." We got quotes straight from the Adult Crisis Stabilization Unit. That's the crazy house. "Please, I swear I got it. I got the strength, God. I just ain't got it on me right now." Oh, how proud you were. All those years spent training your mind and body only to be brought to your knees for the most significant fight of your life. All that strength just to put your palms together. All that studying just to read. This is him quoting from the actual scriptures themselves. He says, "I seek refuge with the Lord of daybreak from the evil of what he's created, and the evil of the dark night when it penetrates, and from the evil of the blowers into knots, and from the evil of an envious one when he envies. I seek refuge with the sustainer of men, the sovereign of men, the God of men, from the evil of the whispering, elusive tempter who whispers into the hearts of men from all invisible forces as well as men." This is him talking again. "You best remember when the sun comes up, who stood with you to chase away the night. You best remember when you escaped the evils of the whispering, what voices soothed your fright. That ain't your power. You better wear our label like a NASCAR jacket. You better tell them folks you're bought, sold, and paid for courtesy of the spirit world. Don't worry, being compromised is good for your career. Don't ever forget that you work for us. Don't ever forget to do your job and dance, puppet man." And that was the poem. I think that was that right there. I got that idea from the guidance portion for this segment. And I'm thinking about calling it Puppet Man. I don't know yet. We'll see. And that's just one of the ones in the works, or a scene from something that's in the works, I'll say, or that's in the brewing, not in the works. I'm not technically writing it. That's just a poem. But if anything, I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully you got a message out of that. If anything, have a good week.